My name is Ryan Smith. I am the Wellness Program Administrator with Employee Development and Wellness Services. I'm joined today by Cheryl Johnson Ransaw, the Director of EDWS, as well as Tony Pelote, the Health and Wellness Coordinator. So we are going to be recording today's session, so you'll be able to send this out and share it with anyone who may have missed today's presentation. Throughout the presentation, if you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to enter them in the chat. We'll be sure to address those at the end. Today's schedule will be going through a Healthy Holidays presentation to give you some tips as you move throughout December and enjoy those winter holidays. We want to make sure that you are well equipped to stay healthy during that holiday period. And then we're also going to review some of the resources you have to support your well-being. At the end of this presentation, we'll also be including a Panther Perks prize drawing, so we'll be covering some information on that as well. But let's go ahead and move into the tips. So one of the first set of tips we want to talk about is how we can manage our food and our nutrition. Of course, when we enter the holidays, we are all looking forward to our favorite foods that our family and friends are making or that we may be bringing to the different holiday events. And something that a lot of people tend to do is they try to strategize by, saving room for the foods that they want to eat. Sometimes this looks like trying to maybe skip breakfast or lunch in preparation for a big holiday dinner. While that might seem like a good strategy up front, typically skipping a meal can lead to people overeating later on, and usually they're overeating with less healthy foods. Imagine if you don't eat in the morning, and by the time your evening meal comes around, you're so hungry that some of that self-control you might have can kind of go out the window. A really healthy thing you can do throughout the holidays is to make sure that you're enjoying balanced meals, even if they're smaller ones, to help control your hunger and tide you over until that big holiday meal arrives. Breakfast is, of course, a great place to start with that. So if you are enjoying the holidays, waking up in the morning, even if it's just a small balanced breakfast where you've got some protein with some carbohydrates. So there's a picture here of some oatmeal, for example. Oatmeal and the fruit providing some of the carbohydrates. If you're doing some milk or maybe some nuts or seeds on top of the oatmeal, that's giving you some protein. And that balance will help you feel full and satisfied up until that holiday meal. That way, when you get to it, you won't be quite as ravenous and you'll be able to still enjoy the foods, but with that balance. Speaking of balance, the second tip that we'll be talking about today when it comes to food on the next slide here is going to be balancing your plate. So the way that you fill your plate up can make a really big difference in your holiday health. So on this next slide here, we're going to see a method for balancing your different foods. So this is what's referred to as the plate method. Some of you may have heard of or seen this before. And this is a really easy visual and kind of cheat sheet for whenever you are trying to make a meal balanced. Now, this is great any time of the year to think of things in terms of these groups, but especially over the holidays, we can use these categories to help us a little bit. So going around the plate here, on the top right, we have starches and grains. So we can fill up a quarter of our plate there. Some things you might think of for that group could be corn, breads, biscuits, potatoes, rice, pasta. We want to try to keep those foods to about 25% or one quarter of the plate. On the bottom right there, we've got room for our protein foods. So you can think of your animal proteins like turkey, chicken, fish, beef, or pork. If you're eating plant-based proteins, you may have some nuts there, some seeds, tofu, things like that. So by having the carbs from our starches and grains combined with our protein, we have a nice balance of nutrients there. And that takes up, those two together take up half the plate. And the remaining half of the plate, if we can fill that with what we call non-starchy vegetables. So when we say non-starchy, those are the vegetables that are lower in carbohydrates. So thinking of things like green beans, lettuce, tomatoes, carrots, spinach, broccoli, any of those greens, that's going to be a great place to put them. And these portions will help keep the calories balanced while you still get to enjoy a little bit of each food. On the next slide here, we can see an example of what that might look like. So we've got, it looks like some fried chicken there, we've got some mashed potatoes, and we've got some green beans on the left. Again, this is just kind of a quick visual of what that might look like. And by keeping that plate division, we're still able to enjoy all of these foods just in moderated portions. A lot of us probably know that fried chicken is not the healthiest form of chicken. Something like grilled or baked would be a little healthier. But on the holidays, it's kind of normal to expect people to enjoy their favorite festive foods. They may indulge a little. And that's okay, even healthy to do over the holidays. But by keeping things in check with these portions, we can still have those foods and not have to overdo it or overindulge. Now, on the next slide, we can see an example of how you might swap out the mashed potatoes for the macaroni and cheese or something like that in order to keep the plate in balance. But a lot of you are probably thinking, well, hold on a second, there's mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese. I would really like to have both of those. And that is definitely something you can do as well. So rather than feeling like you have to do a full portion of everything that's there, consider doing half portions or mini portions of things. You can still enjoy the flavor. You can still make your relatives and friends happy when you're able to say that you tasted their delicious cooking, but we can still keep things in check. So I really like this visual. It's a simple thing to think about for really any meal, any time of year, but especially going into the holidays, it can help make sure that when we enjoy foods, we don't have to feel guilty about kind of breaking some of our health goals. And the third and final nutrition related tip is to sip smart. So when we say sip smart, we are talking about the beverages that we enjoy throughout the day. And what we do over the holidays when we're drinking can really add up. And the way that I like to show this is, over the holidays, we are probably looking forward to some dessert, whether it's pie or cake or whatever you may like to have. Um, and I don't think it would be very realistic to tell people, oh, just don't have dessert because we're trying to celebrate and we're trying to enjoy that. But what I do want to point out is if you were trying to leave room for something like a piece of pie, think about some of the things you might be able to take out to put that room in. So, for example, if you're drinking sodas during the day, 2 cans of Cokes over there, 280 calories and 78 grams of sugar versus that piece of pie, about 300 calories and 25 grams of sugar. So if you are someone who regularly drinks soda, or maybe you drink sweet tea or something with calories in it, swapping that out for water during the day can cut out some calories and make some room for some of those desserts that you might be looking forward to. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to calories in beverages is that alcohol does have calories in it. So if you are planning to drink alcohol over the break, try to keep in mind the fact that that does add up so we can moderate it, enjoy a small amount of those beverages, and then focus on water throughout the rest of the day. So I will turn it over to Tony now, who's going to talk to us about a couple additional tips.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Yes, so our next tip is going to be staying active. So, of course, we have our diet and all the great tips that Ryan just talked about. And another thing we can add to help us stay healthy is staying active. So, making the most of this time with your family, adding them into your activity schedules. I know sometimes when we're on break or we're with family or we're just not on our regular routine, it's easy to forget about, maybe our workout schedules or the afternoon walks we've been taking, but it's a great time to get physically active with your family. So take a walk with your family. It can be a great way for you to catch up with them, to chat while you're walking, as well as to be physically active. Consider making an activity part of your family tradition. So as we see in the picture here, they're playing a little bit of football, some basketball, again, out for that family walk. But try to incorporate physical activity into your family tradition and what you guys do together as you're spending time together. Anything else you can think of? Maybe you guys enjoy music. Maybe it's just turning on some of your favorite songs that remind you of the holidays, that make you feel nice and warm and fuzzy inside, and dancing with your family or your loved ones or your children. But those are just a few ways that you can get physically active throughout your day. The next tip we're going to talk about is getting back on track. So it's, again, while we're in our holiday mode or in that kind of break mode, it's easy to get off track, and that's okay. It happens to all of us. We get busy, the day gets busy, unexpected things happen or come up in our schedule. And so getting back on track when you get off is a great tip. Know that doing something is always better than doing nothing. So even if it's taking a shorter walk or doing a shorter workout in the morning, um, taking 5 minutes or 15 or 20 minutes instead of your full 30 or 45 minutes that you usually take is helpful to, again, getting back on track, keeping up with those consistent habits. Between the different events and festivities, try to, again, stick to your plan, stick to your schedules. If you have a little bit of downtime, make the most of that time. While you're watching TV or enjoying a show with your family, get up and walk around on the commercial breaks. Those little moments, find time to continue to be physically active, although your schedule may be a little bit busier than usual. Our next tip is self-care. So this is a great time to really invest in your self-care. We know it's been a very busy semester between, all that's going on with this pandemic, getting back into the office, finding your work-life balance again, readjusting. We've had a very busy semester, and so trying to prioritize self-care during this break is something that you really should do. Take time to just take care of yourself, reset, relax, refresh yourself during this time. Maybe that's adding in some new habits like journaling or meditating, maybe developing a great skincare routine, whatever it may be, just some new healthy habits during this time. But take the time to take care of yourself, rest a little bit more, take longer walks, enjoy some more downtime, but dedicate the time that you need to really reset yourself before going into this new year. And our last and final tip is just to use your resources. There's a lot that you have access to, and you can definitely make the most of the time that you have off by using those resources to help with that self-care, staying active, sticking to a healthy diet as much as you can. And so there are a few resources listed here that you can use, and we're going to start off with the EDWS resources. So you have faculty and staff assistance. There is an emergency number that is available 24/7 that you can call, as well as making a call to just the main number. But using faculty and staff assistance to help with anything that you may be going through, taking the time to chat with someone, checking in on your mental health, you do have access to that. You can also visit our website, and through our website, you do have access to our YouTube channel where there are recordings of all of our sessions from this past year. So there's yoga on there, there's meditation, there's mini stretch breaks. We have some longer workouts from Fun Fitness Fridays, live cooking demos, and so lots there that you have access to. You can do those things with your family. You can pull up a video and do a stretch break together, or cook a healthy meal in your kitchen together to allow that time for you guys to bond, but as well as be healthy. And lastly, you do have KeyPro, which is an employee assistance program through USG. You can call and schedule an appointment anytime with them as well. Again, it's always a great time to do a mental health check during a break, just to reassess how the year was for you, how you're feeling going into the new year's. And we know that the holidays can be a difficult time. We know that we have loved ones that we may be missing during this time, or just difficulties that we may be dealing with. So again, take the time to take care of yourself during this break. And now we're going to go into our Panther Perks prize drawing. So I'm going to turn it back over to Ryan, and hope everyone has a happy holiday.
All right, thank you, Tony. And bear with me just a moment here as we pull up this PowerPoint. Okay, so for those of you who may be unfamiliar, we're going to walk through a little bit of information behind our Panther Perks Plus program. We're going to cover all the details about what it is, and then at the end of this brief presentation, we will do our prize drawing for this recent quarter. So what is Panther Perks Plus? So, Georgia State University faculty, staff, and retirees are able to earn entry into prize drawings by attending USG and EDWS sponsored wellness activities and events. So, the more events that you attend, the greater your chance of winning a prize because you'll have additional entries put into that drawing. So, how to join the program? You can join the program by emailing us at edws@gsu.edu. We will ask you to join the Live Healthy GSU community group on the USG Wellbeing platform. If you're not already on the USG Wellbeing platform, you will need to register for that. It's a great platform with a lot of well-being resources and incentives. You are actually able to earn well-being credit in the form of money back in your paycheck by participating in some of the events on that platform. And then after you've joined the Live Healthy GSU community, all you need to do is attend those USG or EDWS sponsored events. And today's event is actually included in that. So anyone who is attending right now will have an entry put into this prize drawing. For that entry to be counted, you'll just want to make sure that you have joined that Live Healthy GSU community group. So the prize drawing schedule is as follows. Prize drawings are held at the end of each quarter detailed below, and winners are going to be contacted after the drawings. So the first quarter is January through March. And what that means is that if you attend an event anytime January through March, you are eligible for the quarter one prize drawing. Quarter two is April through June. Quarter three is July through September. And quarter four is October through December. So today's drawing is actually going to be for the July through September dates. We are now doing the prize drawing for that period. We're currently in quarter four, October through December. So if this is your first time hearing about the program, we've got lots of additional events lined up for the rest of this month, and any of those that you attend, including today's, will include you in that prize drawing and make you eligible to win when we do our quarter four prize drawing early next year. So a few extra details about the program. You can win up to a maximum of one prize per quarter. Prize drawing entries reset after each quarter. So if you're new to the program, that's a-okay. Every quarter brings equal opportunity for people to participate and get their prize entries in. You can email us at any point to check how many drawing entries you have. So if you want to know how you're doing, how many events you've attended, we can give you that information. And our 2021 third quarter prizes that we'll be giving away today are the following items. We have a 3-compartment meal prep container. This is great for if you're focusing on a healthy diet, portioning out some foods, and having a nice way to bring it with you to work and have that healthy meal. We will be giving away a meal prep cookbook, which focuses on recipes that you can cook in batches and have meal prep set up for the rest of the week. And then we'll be giving away a fitness and nutrition journal. The journal allows you to track the exercises that you've done and includes some information on the different muscle groups and some different tips for improving your fitness, as well as a space to log any nutrition information you might be keeping up with. So the last slide here is just how to contact us, and I'll show this before we move into the prize drawing. Our regular office hours, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30 p.m. We do offer emergency assistance for crisis situations 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you call the phone number listed there, that is, again, the emergency assistance number. If you've got a regular inquiry, you can use the phone number listed under the EDWS office location information there. We are located at 75 Piedmont Ave, Suite 360. And there's our regular phone number for any questions or inquiries that are non-emergencies. We also have our email, edws@gsu.edu, where you can contact us with questions. And our website, we are gsu.edu/HR. You can find us from that webpage. So let's go ahead and move into the Panther Perks Plus prize drawing now. Give me just a moment while I pull this up.
I do not. No questions or comments.
All right. Well, thank you again, everyone, for attending today. We certainly hope that you have a great holiday season. I know we've got about 2.5 weeks left until we'll all be enjoying that holiday break. I know we're all looking forward to it. So keep an eye on our calendar for this month. We've got lots of things coming up. Cooking demonstration later today at 12 o'clock. We have a Fun Fitness Friday session scheduled for tomorrow, as well as other events throughout the rest of the month. So keep an eye out, and we look forward to seeing you all there. Have a happy holiday.